And it is live. Welcome back to the LFC Transfer Room YouTube channel. We've got our usuals here with us. We've got Charlie and Matty. How are you, the Scouse boys? Charlie, we'll start with you.
Yeah, good man. Just vibing in my new bedroom. But I'm decent. Not much rumours, so we'll talk about what's being discussed the past week today.
Yeah, that is Charlie's actual bedroom, by the way. It's not a green screen.
Yeah, definitely not a green screen.
We've also got Matty with us. He's back. He's in his new conservatory, but we will have him in his new studio soon. How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Very stressful. Never buy a house. It's the best advice I can give everyone.
Yeah, that's why you haven't seen Matty in action, but he will be back very, very soon, hopefully. And we're also joined by James. How are you, mate? You good? You good vibes today?
Yeah, really good vibes. I finally flogged my Volkswagen Passat today. I got a great deal from We Buy Any Car. If it doesn't work out with Michael Edwards' successor, you need to bring these guys in because they're very good at getting money for nothing.
Absolutely. Good vibes today. A lot of people over on the Twitter. I know you are watching on the Twitter. Make sure you come over to the YouTube so you can interact with all of our comments. We'll just do one now and see what happens. So this is what will happen. So we'll bring up your comment. It might slightly block out James's face. Maybe some of you out there don't like James. I don't know why you wouldn't, but you want to see his face blocked out. So come and comment with us over there. We're going to start off with some rumours of a player potentially leaving Liverpool. Thiago Alcantara, I did a little quick daily dose on him the other day, saying that he might potentially lead to Barcelona. James, we'll start with you. Would you like it to happen? And how much money would you demand for that?
I don't want to see him leave. I think there's definitely a player in there. However, he seems to be falling into the realms of Naby Keitaism. Keitaism, a term that was invented, I think, last time I was on here, where we talk about a wonderful player that isn't getting consistent games. It's the same with Thiago, a wonderful player, yet isn't getting consistent games. Now, I don't want to see him go. However, look, approaching the other side of 30 now, isn't he? He's in, he's let's just say in elite level terms and fitness, he seems to be around that tipping point. If we're going to get a decent fee for him, it may be now. Barcelona, the love affair with the Catalonian giants will always lure him back there, no doubt. He was part of the memorable team, as we all know, in those noughties with Pep Guardiola. It makes sense. I would take around, I would say 20 to 25 million. I'll take what we paid for him. But what I will say is this, if he does go, we have to now enter the market for a midfielder. I've been quiet and a lot of people have been saying, James, why are you banging on about bringing players in all the time? With Keita's injury record, Wijnaldum gone and then Thiago potentially leaving as well, I don't think that is unreasonable to suggest a club of our size and stature to go out there and bring in a potential replacement.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a real shame because I think Thiago has been, in flashes, excellent for Liverpool, Matty. I mean, what are your stances similar to James?
I'd be devastated to see him go, to be honest, because the injuries he's had have mainly been impact injuries, so it's not something that he can really prevent. I know he has had a bad injury record in his career, but I don't think it's been an injury record that's affected him at Liverpool. I think it's been more impact injuries, and I'd be sad to see someone like Thiago's caliber go. I disagree with James in terms of saying we'd have to go in the market, though. I do think you get robbed in January. I do think you get had off and you spend a lot more. I think we have got enough to get us to the end of the season. Harvey Elliott's coming back. I'm a big believer in Curtis Jones' ability as well, though he has had some stinkers. I do think that he has got the ability to do it. The only midfielder I want to go out and buy is Jude Bellingham, and we're not going to get him in January, so I would much rather wait. And we know Liverpool will. We've done it with Van Dijk. We waited to get our man, and I think that's what we'd do in the midfield position. If it was me, I'd hold on to Thiago until the end of the year and then maybe let him go if you bring in someone like Bellingham.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Matty. I wouldn't say go in January right now. I would say we'd have to replace in the summer is what I meant, basically. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that January players cost a bomb, Charlie. What's your stance on Thiago Alcantara? I'd personally hate to see him go, especially to Barcelona, back to Barcelona. But what about you, mate?
Look, no one wants to see him leave, do they? If we're all being honest, nobody wants to see him go. But we're all trying to be a bit realistic here. We already have a midfield made out of sticks. the likes of Naby Keita, James Milner's getting on, Jordan Henderson as well. There's a lot of players who are picking up injuries constantly. Also doesn't help the fact that Harvey Elliott's got a long-term injury as well. So we knew his injury record going into like buying him. He's always had patches out every single season without like the only real season he didn't have where he was injured was the one where Bayern Munich won the Champions League the year before we bought him. So we were hoping he'd carry on that trend, not get injured. Unfortunately, he hasn't, got absolutely chomped by Richarlison. And since then, he's just been, again, as Matty said, impact injuries. Regarding him leaving, it's a tough one. I do agree with James. If we get what we paid or maybe a bit more for him, I'd let him leave. If we can get 25, 30 million out to Barcelona in January, I'd say, you know what, look, it didn't work how we all planned it out, but, you've given us some good moments. Have you lit our midfield on fire? Not really, but, you're funny. You've got a baldy head and stuff. But
not anymore, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's got a nice little fade now.
He brought back the Steve Claridge sock fashion, which is now enhanced with Jack Grealish and others alike, isn't it?
Yeah, but again, I think we're all on the Bellingham bus and Bowen bus. I know Matty's especially. But with obviously not going out in January, it's a tough one because we did it with Van Dijk, didn't we? We bought Van Dijk in January. If Liverpool want their man and they need him in January, I'm convinced they'll buy him. Like if we realistically said to Dortmund, look, we'll give you an extra few million here and get Bellingham in, would they take it if we met their asking price? I think.
Would we do that?
I think if we really want Bellingham, they would. Yeah, 100%.
But I would. You would. We all would on Football Manager, but we're Liverpool, and
Yeah,
well,
I think you will.
Again, we haven't spent anything, have we? In the
not for the last 2 years, no.
So we should technically have money, in my opinion.
Well, he's gone and bought a hockey team, hasn't he? So that's gone down the drain.
I do think if Liverpool want to buy someone, they will. With Van Dijk, we proved that. Go and spend 75 million on him. We met what Southampton wanted. Even with Alisson, we went and spent nearly 70 million pounds on him. Liverpool will spend big if it's for the right player. And I do think with Jude Bellingham, if Jurgen Klopp wants him, we'll get him. And it doesn't matter about price.
Yeah, if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you come over to the YouTube and get your interactions in, like a Black Hammer has now. I mean, do you think Thiago will maybe start against Arsenal, Matty? Do you think he'll come on and start and have an impact there? Because he certainly can do.
Yeah, I think he'll start. I do think he'll start against Arsenal. He's fit. Doesn't go with Spain, did he? If I'm not mistaken.
No.
So he should be raring to go. Especially with Jones's injury lasting a bit longer. I think Thiago has to start. I think it'll probably be Fabinho, Hendo, and Thiago.
Hendo's injured, so we don't have any midfielders.
I don't know if that was maybe an agreement with England, and that's what they've said, so he can come back.
I don't know.
He was in training, weren't he?
Yeah, James Pearce was saying he was 50-50, but our only midfielders at the moment who are fit, who are actually fit, are Fabinho and Thiago. And Thiago and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Apologies, Chris. So
I saw him last Friday against Albania, Henderson, and I have to say he was exceptional. That is the best Jordan Henderson that I've seen, and I always rate him. I've got friends that support rival clubs, and we all would have heard it. The whole Liverpool FC fan base would have heard it. He's useless. He's not technically sound. Actually, we all know he brings a lot more to the table than being technically sound. On Friday, what I witnessed was absolutely incredible, and I think the deal was they arrested him.
Though.
Yeah, it was only Albania, but no international match is easy unless it's San Marino. Against Hungary the month before, they're good.
Pretty easy as well.
Yeah. But let's be brutally honest. You're playing like teams like Albania, Hungary. Again, I saw them last night. They're a good team, and Jordan. I thought he was exceptional. And yes, you're right. It is Albania, but let's not forget it is still an international match in a competitive game, and he still outshone other England stars around him. I thought he was brilliant. In terms of Thiago, we all pray he stays, but Jude Bellingham again is another one who I've seen up close. The guy's built he's built big. The TV don't do him justice. The size of this kid's calf, he's massive. He's built like an absolute man mountain, and maybe we need a bit more of that physicality more regularly in our midfield if Henderson's not going to be there consistently. And we need to start planning for the future, because Henderson is starting to knock on a bit as well. And we need to plan for the future. Bellingham would be a great deal. Great deal.
I think me and Matty are in the same boat. Jude Bellingham will play for Liverpool one day.
I hope so.
He has to. It's literally written in the stars that he will play for us. When will he play for us? Who knows? Will he come in January? Will he come at the end of the season? Dortmund apparently don't want to let him go at the end of the season because of Haaland. So will he come the season after? That's Klopp's final year. Will he then Klopp be like, okay, let's go and spend 100 mil on this kid? Like, it's a tough one, but I'm convinced we're going to sign him. Just when is the issue? But I think,
especially if we get Stevie, that's his idol, isn't it? So if we
I
get
wish,
Stevie,
I wish football was that simple, man. I really do.
I just think it's the worst kept secret, though, Chris. Like, his whole family of Liverpool fans. He's named Jude after the Beatles. Is the amount of tweets he's done about Henderson and Gerrard and Liverpool.
Yeah, him and Henderson are best mates.
I know, man.
But what about the cryptic tweet, Matty? I saw maybe 2 weeks ago. I seen a cryptic a tweet from Bellingham, and then the rest of the football community rallied round and said, obviously, he's dismissed that claim. Are you saying? And I hope you're right. I pray you're right. Are you saying that it wasn't a cryptic message to say he isn't coming to Liverpool?
No, I
that's
think
it. That's the one.
Yeah, I think because he released it quickly. I honestly believe Jude Bellingham knows he will play for Liverpool one day.
Brilliant.
Like Charlie said, whether it's now or whether it's in 2 years, he will play for Liverpool.
You reassure me like a blanket late at night.
His dad did come out as well saying that the rumours were bullshit, but he then deleted it like literally a minute later. So it's like they're gonna deny it either way, aren't they? They're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, he's coming." Like, who's gonna know that? But it's the same with Van Dijk. We knew we were getting Van Dijk. Like, it was just written that we were getting Van Dijk. Bellingham will happen one day, 100%.
See, I wish I was as convinced as you, boys. I really do. I really, really do. I'm not under this ownership. I'm just not convinced that Liverpool will go and get.
It's like with Steve, Chris. Like, even when he just went to Villa now, his contract runs out the same day as Klopp's runs out, and he had that contract with Rangers as well.
It's not though, Matty. He's got an extra year on top, bro.
He's not taking that year though, is he? If Klopp goes,
but we know he'll move. You're right, Matty. I agree. Chris, I see your point. But I know he'll move. He's now shown his colours, hasn't he? He said if there's a bigger job out there, he'll jump ship. He's just proved that. Rangers, top of the league, they're flying in Europe. Good, solid team that he's built there for next to nothing, may I add. And he's gone into Aston Villa. All he's got to do is finish in the top 12, top 8 every year. He's got a stable job, hasn't he? He's a good manager. And I think that the fact that the contracts run out at the same time, I think that's got legs. We all want him back. We all surely want Steven Gerrard back at the helm, but the football romantic doesn't always come to the fore, Chris.
If he flops at Aston Villa, I don't want him. Honestly, as much as I love Stevie G. If he flops at Villa, I don't want him there, Liverpool.
It's a tough job, Mike.
What's a flop of Villa, though? Like, if he can take Villa into the top 10 this season, I think that's a win. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
If he then
I think if he gets Villa into the Europe,
I think even if he's just challenged
that's hard
for
as
Europe.
well, Matty. You've got Leicester, you've got Everton, you've got not this year Newcastle, but next year you've got Newcastle, you've got small clubs like Tottenham. But the next season, Matty, you know the game, mate, and I know you know the game.
I
Money
honestly
talks.
believe Newcastle are going to go down this summer.
I do want to bring something up though.
January.
Let's bring it back to Thiago. Would we do this, boys? Would this
absolutely. We would have to pay for him, because they want 70. There we go, Faz. They want 75 million for him, which is that's what they paid for him, right? Or they paid 80 million. They paid very, very close to that. So again, Barcelona taking another L. Just take all of the letters out the name and just leave the L. That's all they need to be a club.
Or just cut it off and just have Lona.
Yeah,
true,
exactly. But
if you are, by the way, if you are over on the Twitter, we have got a good community over here on the YouTube, so come and comment on here. But continue, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, look, no one says no to that. Frankie de Jong is one of the best young midfielders in the world, / just best midfielders in the world. If we were to swap Thiago and give them 40 million, I would be more than happy with that. And it's
they could do with the cash as well.
Exactly, it's a
Oh no, Matty, we'd do it structured over 5 years and just do what they did to us.
The thing is, as well, though,
you know,
he isn't going to be on crazy wages either.
I don't know. He's on 400k a week at Barcelona, though.
No.
Yes, he is. Have a look at their wages, mate.
Nah, then if he's wanting that money, no way.
They pay mad money.
Yeah.
Isn't Coutinho on something stupid like that as well?
Griezmann Dembele's on like 600k a week.
The guy's made out of spaghetti.
That's why Griezmann struggled to get back to Atletico, because he was on like stupid money at Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona are still paying his wages, sir.
But is it true that Atleti's wage bill in itself is absolutely obscene too? So you're right, Matty, that it would have been difficult for him to get back there because he would have had to take a cut, but then Atleti would have had to have found the money to actually bring him in the first place. I think Atleti are a great club, but a lot of people underestimate our results against them.
That's a good point. I'd take Pet. If you offered me any Barcelona midfielder or any Barcelona player, I'd take Pedri.
Pedri's got Pedri has got a 5-year contract and £1 billion release clause.
No, obviously, we're not getting him. That's clear. But if you was to offer me Pedri, I'd take him over anyone in their squad. Imagine him under Jurgen Klopp. He's played about 70 games last season.
The thing with their youth, though, I do think Xavi will bring Barca back up because they've got so many talented youngsters coming through. Rui Puig, they've got Pedri, Gavi. They've got so many. So I do think the next golden generation of Barca is coming through. But if he wants people, Xavi's come out and said he wants people like Thiago. He's got the Barca DNA. So I don't know. I don't want Thiago to go. I don't. I like what Dan's saying. He is so good. He's easily our best midfielder when fit. Easily.
Nah, Fabinho.
No, they're different players. They're different players. An attacking midfielder, central midfielder, technically gifted, intelligence, IQ. He's number one at the club, and no one wants to see him go. However, if the right deal presents itself, I think from a financial perspective, Liverpool run well, and I think we need to make just keep doing what we're doing, but I don't want to see him go because actually we're supposed to be the pinnacle, aren't we? And they're on the decline. So why would you? The only thing luring him back is that's where he's from, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting one. We're going to talk about another one of a player potentially returning to a club. The whole title of the stream is Raheem Sterling potentially returning to Liverpool. He has said to a European club. I will start with you, Charlie. Would you take Raheem Sterling back?
No.
Good answer, Charlie.
Really?
It's look. He's a tapping merchant. Literally, his only goals for Man City, it's a rebound in the 6-yard box.
What's wrong with that?
We don't really have them type of plays. Salah's usually just on the ball, slotted in the top corner, or Mane's hitting it in Rose Ed. There's not really an in-between for us. It's either scored or it just flies over. Sterling, not a chance at all. He's getting dropped by Phil Foden, who can't even play striker. For the only way I'd take Sterling is if it was for 10 million. And he issued a public apology to everybody involved.
Come on, Jack. Right. It wasn't even Sterling's fault. Though. It's AD Ward. That's the whole thing.
No.
Yeah, well, I want him to apologise still.
Raheem Sterling is the biggest rat ever. I do never want to see that little snake in a Liverpool shirt again. He left us for more money and silverware. He still hasn't won a Champions League, by the way, at City. Big snake. I don't want him back in Liverpool. He had jumped ship again the minute something else came up that offers him a bit more money. He done well for Liverpool. He probably could. He's proved if he would have stayed, he would have still won everything. Bar the crappy domestic cups that you don't really care about. But I don't think Raheem Sterling is coming back to Liverpool. I don't want him back at Liverpool.
Why not?
Klopp.
Why not, mate?
I'd much rather take someone like Coutinho back, and I don't even want him. I don't want Sterling there. Honest to God.
No, Chris, you're having an absolute laugh if you take Sterling over Coutinho.
Wait, Raheem Sterling is the second top scorer in Manchester City's history.
Yeah, look at the size of the history. Let me play there for about 10 years. I'll get onto the top 10 list. I promise you.
No
he left
way.
Liverpool purely for money. Because at the time, Pep was Pep at
mate,
City when he
is
left.
it not the right
I don't
decision?
think
It was the right decision. It was the right decision for him to leave.
he went for money though. He did like the only reason that he's won all the Premier Leagues was Pep was there. Let's be serious. He still hasn't won the Champions League, so we never got that. He said it was for success, but it was purely for money. That's the only reason he went.
But if you look at it, he got more success at Man City than he has at Liverpool. Than he was ever going to get at Liverpool.
But he hasn't won the Champions League.
Of course he has, but they've spent £20 billion getting it. I saw this guy's debut at Anfield. I saw him come on as a substitute against Wigan. I remember him coming onto the wide left of his sort of Mohican-y sort of throw at the time. When he left, and I usually, Chris, as you know, I quite try to be realistic and calm and see both sides of the story. My head says the door's slightly ajar. My heart says it's slammed tight with a chain around it. And that's me saying it. And I'm agreeing with Matty and I'm agreeing with Charlie. Watching this guy for England the other night as well, I think he's been off the pace for at least 6 months. I don't think he's been good at all. He was good at the Euros and I'll give him full credit. Where does he fit into our team? This guy's going to want to come and play every week. Who are you taking out? You're taking out
That's the
Sadio?
reason he's leaving City, because he's not getting played and he's not going to
He
start.
fits perfectly into our system, if I'm being honest with you.
Where? Up front?
Yeah, I think he slots in. I mean, I don't think he's better than Sadio Mane.
That takes me back to the Warrior yellow away kit, yeah, away at Bournemouth when this guy was playing up front and we were poor.
Boys,
you know, I don't like this. It's an attitude.
No. Listen, like Chris, Manchester City currently do not have a striker, and he can't even get into that.
But he's not a striker; he's a winger.
No, but he can't get into any of their front three. They're using Phil Foden as strikers and stuff ahead of him. Pep has just completely failed to them. No, it's not.
I'll chuck an olive branch out. Sorry to cut you up, mate. I do apologise. It's disrespectful, but I have to get this point out and I have to ram it home. Okay, there's a comment in the side here from Mr. Moon. I don't know if I can say it, Chris, if that's all right, buddy. For 30 million and a salary cut to below 200k, I'd take Sterling. Do you know what I think we should do? I think we should get this guy. If he's going to come, I'll say, right, okay, then we'll do you a 1 year deal and see how it works. Because it's, as far as I'm concerned, he goes to the fans. This club and our fans stick together stronger than Loctite and PVA in a marriage made of destiny. I will not have this guy coming out and leaving our club and going there. He went there to win trophies, granted. I get that. But it was money, mate. And I'm sorry, that was money. And his agent, you could argue his agent's done his job. But really? I mean, Liverpool?
It's disrespectful too.
Is time not a great healer, though? Is time not a great healer?
No.
Well, ask Arsenal fans about Adebayor and Samir Nasri, Cesc Fabregas. It's one of them, but it's one of ours.
It's not just a player either, Chris. Like, QPR abandoned Sterling because of what he was doing off the pitch. He went to court and we brought him up from he wasn't going to be a footballer, period. We've brought him up and look what he's become. That's because of Liverpool, what he has become. Like it, and he went and he's disrespected us publicly multiple times.
But it wasn't
Sly
him,
digs.
What's the news with Joe Gomez, though, Chris?
That was Dicky. That was Dicky. But
not his agent. Not his agent.
All the context away. You take all the context away. It's a flat-out footballer. You take Raheem Sterling. He is fourth choice forward.
No, I out of footballing ability, what I saw of Philippe Coutinho at Liverpool absolutely outdoes anything that Raheem Sterling has done.
If you look at them now, though.
No, but look at any player at Barcelona right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but he was shit at Bayern as well.
No, he wasn't.
No, he
On
wasn't.
the Champions
Why didn't they
League.
buy him then? Why didn't they buy him then?
Because who wants to buy him? Look at the wages he's on.
Mate, no.
If you put both of their
that's
Liverpool
stupid,
careers next to each other on a pedestal, Philippe Coutinho for me was majestic. And I get it, and I know you know that, Chris, 100%. But it's more emotional, Sterling. On pure football inability, if this was, okay, let's plug someone out the air. I don't know. If this was Danny Ings, okay, and he'd left us to go to Man City for more money, and he's banging in the goals, and he's fallen off the radar, you could say, yeah, I'd feel more inclined to take this guy back. But Raheem Sterling, part of to going out with all the stuff, I'm part of Liverpool, part of the fabric, allegedly loves the club. At the first opportunity he gets to leave us, as we're in a bad situation, he leaves us one for money, and he said it wasn't. There was the infamous interview that came out. He lied. He then went over to Man City, won trophies, and actually, on football inability, I don't think he fits the mold. And the reason why I say this is because we go on time and time again as a fan base. If we're going to sign a striker or an attacking player, we're going to bring someone in who's going to play bit part games at the moment, because our front three, in my opinion, is one of the best 2 or 3 front threes in the world. It really is. Raheem Sterling doesn't get in it for me.
The money you'd pay for Sterling as well, you could probably go and get someone else who's younger and more hungry to prove.
You're telling me Raheem Sterling doesn't come back to Liverpool?
If you're paying 50 million for Raheem, if you're paying 50 million for Raheem Sterling, which is probably what he'd cost, I'd much rather go and get Rafinha from Leeds.
Or Lewis.
Much rather that. Yeah,
Rafinha from Leeds to me. Yeah,
there is so many options for a similar price or even less and less wages who are performing at this current moment and who wouldn't be an absolute baby if they were getting dropped.
But
I can probably name 10 people off the top of my head.
In the summer, though, Chris, for 15 million pound more, you're getting Haaland. In the summer,
the famous saying,
50 mil.
The famous saying is, form is temporary, class is permanent.
But there's also another one, Chris, that says never go back. Do you know what I mean? The only way we get him in is because we've left the European Union, and Brexit actually has a major part to play in it due to our European registration for Champions League and European games, which is absolutely essential that we have British homegrown players. On that basis, I will say, yeah, okay, that actually, as a fan, that probably makes sense. With this player, attitude. Brendan Rodgers called him out in America. We all saw it. We all saw that training ground clip a few years ago.
17, James. He was 17.
I don't get angry. I don't get angry, Chris. This guy,
Rafinha or Sterling for 50 million.
Who's more proven?
Oh, come on. I know you're trying to bait us, Christopher. You don't believe that yourself. You don't believe that yourself, Chris. You do not believe Sterling over Rafinha.
Well, look at my tweets from like 2 months ago. I was saying, get Sterling back. I'm fully on board with it.
For that sort of money, I'd rather Rafinha. Rafinha's got so much more potential than Raheem Sterling has. Rafinha comes now, he could give us 8 years of City.
I think homegrown's going to come into a lot of this, and I think the Bellingham thing. And now you think about it from another angle. Okay, that homegrown things, you're going to see British clubs now look at our English Premier League clubs looking for British talent. That puts on a player tax as it is, so that's going to drive the price up. I mean, what's Raheem Sterling's contract situation? How long's he got left on that deal?
Probably not longer yet. But the thing is, homegrown.
Get him for free. I'm getting.
Homegrown, I'm getting Jarrod Bowen back. I'm getting Jarrod Bowen. But look, one more thing on Sterling. It will never happen for one reason. Klopp trusts the fans too much. I have never seen a player still get booed constantly every time he touches the ball than Raheem Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
When Coutinho was here, it wasn't muted. The whole stadium constantly boos him when he's on the ball in full voice. Imagine if he returned to Liverpool, it would not happen. He would be one of the only players to ever get booed by the Anfield crowd.
No, he wouldn't, though.
Yes, he would. Matty, would you boo him if he was at Anfield?
Put it out on a vote. Put it out. LFC Transfer Room on Twitter. Put a tweet out. Liverpool fans, do you want to see Raheem Sterling back? Yes or no? And let the people decide. And then
I guarantee you, everyone says no because
Klopp will not. I agree with Charlie. Klopp won't take him back. And honestly, when at that City game the other week, Raheem Sterling touches that ball, he gets booed by everyone. There's no one there.
But he didn't play.
No, in other games as well. But with Luis Suarez, for example, the other week, a few fans booed him, but the majority.
But yeah, I booed Sterling. I
exactly. And you say you'd take him back, but
I would. Because on footballing ability, he would get in our team, in my opinion.
I see what you're saying, Chris. I get what you're saying, but there's too much baggage, mate. It's like having a wife that's left you for another man, and 3 years down the road she's available.
I don't think
you're going to say jog on.
Anyone back who thinks he can get.
She's a 10 out of 10. I get it. Football, you know.
The thing is,
if Klopp was going to take a player back, though, Chris, he probably would have took Suarez back when that Westfield got him for nothing.
The thing is, Matty, the move to Manchester City has been a success.
Yeah, no one is saying it hasn't, Chris. No one is saying that it hasn't been a success. Liverpool, it has been a success.
Liverpool in 2015 are not an attractive prospect.
Yes, he was.
No, they fucking weren't.
They nearly won the league.
The year before, though, Matty.
Year before, we nearly won the league.
Yeah,
you're
but we have
talking
Ricky
Balotelli,
Ferdinand and Borini.
Benteke, that team, yeah, the one with a overweight Gerrard,
okay.
Balotelli,
Yeah,
Benteke. Yeah,
we
were dog.
We got
that
smashed
season.
by Stoke 6-1. Yeah,
Exactly.
listen, though,
I
if
do
he
not
would have
blame
waited a few more months, Jurgen Klopp would have been there. The player he would have been, he was probably our best player in that season. He scored 8 goals and got 7 assists, and then he left. Yes, but he could the exact same quote that Klopp said about Coutinho.
It's a little bit different, though, isn't it?
I understand because he's had success, but if he would have stayed at Liverpool, he could have got a statue made out of him. I could have got a statue made of him. If he would have stayed at Liverpool, if Jurgen Klopp would have moulded him into the player he would have been, he could have been the best player in the world if he had stayed and not went off for money.
Well, what he's done is basically...
And he'd have a Champions League.
How could anyone foresee 4 months into the future that Jurgen Klopp would
What
be
do you
there?
mean? No, not Jurgen Klopp, but anyone could have seen that Brendan Rodgers was getting sacked, which he did a few months later. The guy
the 6-1 was unacceptable. I don't care how bad Liverpool are. We're Liverpool.
Yeah, he was linked.
Not be losing there.
Yeah, he was linked because
Klopp was linked heavily.
He was loads, but that's why when we got
same with Ancelotti as well. They were the two, weren't they? It was Ancelotti.
Yeah, when he got sacked, everyone was like, "Oh, Klopp's coming." Like when Klopp was sacked, everyone was like, "All right, Klopp's going to be at Liverpool at some point."
You can't blame Raheem Sterling for looking at it. And obviously still the manager.
But if he cared about Liverpool, he would have said,
no one gives a fuck anymore. No one cares.
He should know. That's about Liverpool. We want players to care.
That's why we're different. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Chris. Contracts mean nothing in football no more. We've known that now, 2, 3, 4 years? Evidently. Absolutely. 100%. However, as a fan base, I think I have to go with Matty and Charlie on this. I think they're right. But Chris, you give valid points. But what's happened is you're on a Titanic. We've just clipped the iceberg. That guy's already jumped off 4 miles back before we've even hit it. That's the reality.
Fair enough. He's done very well to do that.
He has, and he's got in a lifeboat and sped boat, and he's done well and stopped at the Ritz while we were getting shafted. I get it, but the reality is now the ship's docked. He wants to now come back and eat humble pie. Well, the reality is, mate, if it's not financially viable or beneficial massively in Liverpool's favour, myself as a fan, I don't want to see him, and that's difficult. I just don't want to see him.
Because I'd take him back if he comes on a contract like Dani Alves. It's just took a Barcelona for £1 a week. That's when I'll take him back.
If he says, I'll play 6 months for free like Beckham did at PSG, he doesn't need no money or anything like that. Raheem Sterling's a multi-millionaire. If he says, all right, okay, Liverpool, you think I left for money? All right, then I'll play 6 months for free and I'll donate it to charity. And then I'll be paid after that. I'll say, do you know what? That works for me. And
I want him to issue a public apology as well.
Yeah,
my condition.
He's not responsible for his agent. I'm sorry.
But he's responsible. But his pen's the one that touches the paper, Chris.
And there's other things that have happened in
Ronaldo
the past
demonstrated
that has nothing
Charlie.
to do with his agent.
Well, Ronaldo's just demonstrated it. He didn't go to Man City. It's the same thing. If he'd went to Man City, Man United fans would have villainized this guy, but he didn't. Because he's a multi-millionaire. He's very good on football and talent, as we all know, same as Raheem Sterling. Good on talent. They're multi-millionaires, yet he made the right emotional decision for his link to that club, whereas Raheem Sterling didn't. And that's the basis
the
of the
only
argument.
reason Man United went in for him is because Man City went in for him.
We'll never know. You could have me bent over a political table there, Chris. But yeah.
Mate, he's fucking. I just think there's a footballer.
But Chris, for 50 million, you can either get Rafinha for the same price, or you can pay 15 million pound more and get Haaland.
That's it, Matty. I agree. We should at least be in the conversation for these players, and that's what I'm advocating for. Big style, not to say we must sign them, just to be in the conversation.
Who would you rather have because he plays on the left wing, Sadio Mane or Raheem Sterling?
Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane every time.
Argument's done.
No, it's not though,
because he's coming in as a bench player.
That fourth option.
I'd rather Divock Origi.
Oh,
he's coming in as a bench. Chris, he's coming in as a bench option. You've just agreed.
Yeah, but football's a squad game.
But he's
2021.
no, but he's leaving City because he's not starting.
Because he's not
Yeah,
playing.
because Pep Guardiola hates him, bro.
And why is that, Chris? Why does Pep Guardiola?
Because he's a
hate
fraud,
Raheem
bro. He's
Sterling?
bold and he's a fraud, James.
He is a fraud. And what do
You've just said he's
fraudsters
won
do?
so
They
much.
steal cash.
You've just said he's won so much, Chris. You've just been.
I agree, Raph. I completely agree. Runs like a dinosaur, like a T-Rex.
No, listen, right. In my humble opinion, football is a squad game. Raheem Sterling's been frozen out by Pep Guardiola. I don't know why, but he's the second top scorer in Manchester City history. There's no denying he made the right decision in leaving the club. I'm willing to forgive. Forgive and forget, move on, be the bigger man, all that. I'd take him back.
No.
It's very difficult to forgive something that's jumped up through the grass, bit you on the bum, and caused you real pain.
Hey, as the Lord Jesus Christ says, turn the other cheek. Well,
I'm on the fence with that sort of stuff. So, I mean, in terms of this debate, I'm definitely with Charlie and Matty. And if there was a true out of Coutinho and him, Coutinho all day long. And if they said 250 grand, Phil Coutinho 25 million, if I was in charge of Liverpool Football Club, I'd go get it signed, get it done, get him in.
We'll have a 250 over the way.
Oh dear. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on to Arsenal and some chat about them. I mean, Liverpool play them. If Liverpool do lose to them, Matty, then Arsenal will go above them. Are you fearful of what's going to come on Saturday?
No, I don't fear anyone at Anfield, to be honest with you. Fair play to Arteta, though he has turned the fortunes around at Arsenal, and they are looking like a really good side. They're exciting to watch as well. I'm quite looking forward to playing them because they are on a good run. And I think Liverpool always rise above the challenges, but I fear no team at Anfield. Liverpool at Anfield are just a different breed, and I reckon we'll beat them. I reckon we'll beat them comfortably. The injuries do worry me, but I still think Liverpool always find a way at Anfield, and the Liverpool fans who will be at the stadium will know that Arsenal are in a good run of form. They need to get behind the team, and I think it'll be a really good atmosphere as well. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a game that's going to be pumping.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? James, you looking forward to it?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Well, historically, Liverpool Football Club have always dominated Arsenal at Anfield. Only a couple of times they've actually got positive results, but go back over the past 5 or 6 years, 4-0, 5-1, yeah, right, take the Eshrafin in the Carling Cup, dead rubbers out of the way. As far as I'm concerned, well, we're in good form too. Okay, we lost at West Ham, but, you take away that and you look at the last 20-odd, 22, 23 games, we're a good team, and we're back on form, and I think we've always got the beating of them at our place, whereas we always find it a little bit more difficult at their place. I think Liverpool win this match, and I think we do the usual. I think we get a couple of early goals, and we go on from there. My prediction for this game is Liverpool at least 3, Arsenal 1.
We love it. Charlie, you as positive?
Nah, look, I thought
Charlie is an Arteta shagger though, so we have to realise that.
Okay, boring the Manchester United prediction. Go back to our season predictions. I'm an absolute mastermind. Like it's. I said Crystal Palace to do 6. Everyone was like, "Nah, they're getting relegated." I had to hold the sword for me and Matty that Patrick Vieira's good, and he's got a good little squad going there.
Stuck your neck out.
I said they come out 16th.
I said that. I think it was me and Jack fought, or me and someone fought for Arsenal. Arteta had all the right tools there. He had everything. He's a good coach. He just had some players that were dickheads, and he's got a decent squad now. No matter how much they pay for Ben White, he's good. He's better than Harry Maguire.
He's excellent, actually.
50 million, maybe not, but he's miles better than Harry Maguire.
That's like, I can't even say anything.
Yeah, Lokonga. Absolute baller. Wherever they found Lokonga, he's sick. I love him, I think he's sick.
He's got a good side.
But Charlie, they are, let's be honest, they're not a top 4 team.
I didn't say a top 4. I said they were. I said they finished 6th.
And whenever they play quality opposition, they fall over.
They haven't played many. I'll give you that. They haven't played many top sides, but they're finding a rhythm now. They're they're getting goals. Aaron Ramsdale is performing.
Right. Listen, they've scored 13 Premier League goals this season. That's not good enough.
Yeah,
Liverpool
obviously
31.
Yeah, but that's
we'll batter them on. We will batter them.
We will. We'll be up for this. We've got to get a reaction.
Yeah, I think we'll win. And the thing is, if we lose this game, it speaks absolute volumes. because Arsenal and Man City don't lose this game. I think they battered both from Arsenal. I think they've both played them. If we lose this game, I'm very doubtful about the title race us even being in it. But I think we'll win. But I think we have to be worried just because of the form they're on.
I think we have to win anyway after the amount.
We have to win. Yeah, we have to win.
We have to win. To.
I'm sure that the players will respond after that performance. I mean, I think.
Feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I remember in the one of the darkest periods in Jurgen Klopp's era, January 2017.
Firmino.
And we came back against Arsenal and we battered them. I'm feeling that good vibes, to be honest. I don't know about you boys. I think we always just batter them.
Was that the Joe Allen one, or was it the Firmino one season after?
No, it was Mane scored twice, I think. And it was 16-17. I can't remember who else scored.
It's just sad that Bobby's injured for it, because Bobby always has a masterclass against Arsenal. Every single time.
I think Origi's playing well. I think Origi's doing a good job. I think whenever he's playing, he's scoring goals and doing what,
Yeah, I think it was the 3-1 in March 2017. It was Firmino, Mane, and Wijnaldum who scored. So,
speaking of him, we're missing him massively this year.
Oh, come on, Matty.
We are.
Matty.
Look at the midfield. It's made of breadsticks, and Wijnaldum.
It doesn't mean we're missing him, though, does it?
And it's tracking back. Yeah, because they aren't using him right. You can't say Ronaldo's bad for Liverpool. Yeah, they aren't using him right, though. You can't say he's been crap. He scored 2 goals in the Champions League the other week.
Did you watch Gini Wijnaldum last season? Did you watch him?
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Crap. He was crap.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
There's a reason why
But Chris, you can argue the same about Bobby. It's not the expected XG or the goals output. It's more, that.
I'm not about
it's
the
more
goals
than
Wijnaldum.
that.
Wijnaldum was slowed our play down last season.
But he also helped the defensive duties massively.
But then, if you look at it, Naby Keita has been on the pitch for 17 goals in the Premier League this season and hasn't conceded one while he's on the pitch. Is Naby
Keita has revitalised his career at Liverpool. If he stays fit, if we get him back and he stays fit again.
If he stays fit, he's playing well. Isn't it 2 goals in 3 games? Both bangers as well. I think he's playing extremely. He's just staying fit.
Yeah, we've been saying this since he's joined. Lads, if he can stay fit, he can't stay fit, can he, at the end of the day?
Charlie, I don't disagree with you, mate. Absolutely. I think you're right.
Honestly, though, I don't think we're missing Gini Wijnaldum. The only reason we're missing him is because of the body. I don't think.
Yeah, his upper body strength. I agree with that.
I don't think we're missing the player, Gini Wijnaldum. I think.
Well, his beard was incredible.
It was whatever anyone says.
Missing a smile as well.
Nah, do you want to know what we're missing most out of Gini Wijnaldum is Spotify playlists before.
I agree with that, Charlie. I agree with that. But no,
he's so underrated.
Body more than Gini Wijnaldum, the player. Because we need.
Yeah, we're missing someone who can stay constantly fit. That's all we're missing. Because at the moment, we don't have anyone who's played. I think we even had the same midfield probably more than twice this season. The first 2 games, or the first 3 games. After that, it's been fucking anybody and everyone.
If we lose, it's what we said in pre-season. The squad just isn't big enough to cope with the crisis.
The thing is, though, we said. Sorry, go on, Matty.
It's frustrating because it happened with the defenders. Lovren was crap. But when he left, we should have replaced him, and it punished us last season.
Why are we not?
When Gini left, we knew we had to replace him.
But if you think about it, midfield going into this season
was the most stock
position of depth.
Yeah.
With all injury-prone players.
You're right. Yeah. But you're both right. It was a position of very deep depth, but that depth was light in fitness.
I understand that. James Milner rarely picked up injuries before the cutting end of the season. Jordan Henderson, we knew. Fabinho was never injured. Naby Keita, yes, and Thiago, yes. But Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, as far as we know, they never picked up injury. I agree we should have replaced them, but I don't think it was urgent. I think we needed a striker more than a midfielder. Luckily, we haven't had that bad of an injury look up front. But if we do, it just highlights it even
just
more.
Just a shout out, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been fit and available for the last 50 games.
Because he hasn't played them to be able to get injured.
To be fair, though, Chris, he is being terrible when he.
Oh, come off it! No,
he has.
Chris, I think he's trying to do too much. He's just
maybe he is, but he's in that position.
Just trying to do too much.
I like the Ox. I do like the Ox. I do think injuries ruined him because before that injury in the
excellent in both games against Atletico Madrid.
Unbelievable. But I do think
both games against Atletico
the Ox is very similar to Daniel Sturridge in a sense of the
guys, it's November. There's still plenty of time. I think the real debates kick off as soon as we get to mid-Jan and the business end kicks off. And I've said this the whole season. I didn't foresee us losing at West Ham. However, I did say it'd be a very difficult game. Our problem is we're drawing too bloody many of them, and that's the issue. However, we've lost one game all season, really. So we're a good team. Just got to keep the faith.
Oxlade-Chamberlain has not been terrible. Just gonna shout out that.
Against Preston, it was probably the worst midfield performance I have ever seen out of a midfielder. Tyler Morton was sick when he came on.
Yeah, that was very poor against Preston. I'll give you that. But some of the other games, I think he's been excellent. And I think you have to expect a player to get into rhythm.
The Brighton game, he literally had an assist. That's it.
Oh yeah, come on!
Did more than the other midfielders did.
Yeah, but that was not hard. Like I could have done more. I just don't have to be shit. Like I can just put in I could have put in a 3 out of 10, and I would have been better than every midfielder on the pitch. Like it wasn't hard.
I think a lot. I mean, I don't think it's unfair to say our fans love a scapegoat, and I think Oxlade-Chamberlain's the prime one at the moment.
No, I don't think. I think our fans love the Ox. I genuinely do. I think most of our fans do love the Ox.
The last game was Karius, then Lovren.
Karius, Lovren, Nico Williams as well. Nico Williams. Do
you know what? I'll agree with that. Well, he's not good enough to play for Liverpool.
Lads, look, I'm gonna put a solution.
Nico Williams isn't good enough. He doesn't get into why does he play Milner as second choice right back? Why does he then go to Gomez? Why?
No,
he's not
lads. Let me put in a suggestion. We're talking about midfielders, yeah. Let's just stick Nico Williams there.
Oh, don't start. No.
I'm down for that. Let's go, Charlie.
He wouldn't get on Chelsea's bench. He wouldn't get on the City's bench. He wouldn't get onto Arsenal's bench. He wouldn't get onto Man United's bench. So why should he be on ours just because he's a local kid?
He's better than McDonald.
No,
the kid younger than him. The kid in the reserve. The kid in the reserves, right back. He's better, in my opinion, just because he's playing for. I could play for Wales. Wales are awful.
Mate, Wales
have probably beat England.
Last 5 games, they haven't lost to Belgium.
Nah, with Nico Williams, right? I do think he's a good option, but I seen an article this week saying that he could be the next Gareth Bale. What's that all about?
Oh, Chris wrote that.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Chris, please tell me you didn't compare Nico Williams.
Did you compare Nico Williams to Gareth Bale?
Chris,
right. Let me listen. Let me talk to you now.
Chris,
listen to me now. Listen to the preacher, because I'm here. I'm ready to distribute my absolute. He wasn't trying to get out because Southampton bid 10 million. Southampton bid 10 million for him.
No, Nico Williams is not good enough.
But wait, Matthew, wait. Right, Nico Williams, Gareth Bale was a left back.
Next, shall we stay and play at right wing?
Matthew. Gareth Bale was a left back.
Oh my God.
Tottenham lost their first 18 games when Gareth Bale played in their first team. Gareth Bale was out of necessity, played at left wing against Inter Milan, and he scored a hat-trick. Now, all I'm saying is there not similarities? He's exactly the same height as Gareth Bale. He's also Welsh. Why can Nico Williams?
Because he doesn't have the man bun. If he had the man bun, I'd be on board with you, Chris. He just doesn't.
Gareth Bale, right? It was unbelievably talented.
Yeah, Gareth Bale was sick.
Yeah, but is Nico Williams not unbelievably talented?
We watched Gareth Bale at left back and said, "You're too good for left back. You're unbelievable. Why are you playing left back?" And he put him up front, and then he become one of the best players in the world.
But Tottenham fans
Nico Williams is shocking at right back. He's just not good.
Maybe he could go to Tottenham. Tottenham are a small club that think they're as big as Liverpool as an institution. So why can't we sell them to them? They've got a great stadium. That means they're one of the best in the world.
You're sleeping on.
He needs to be a right back.
I hope I'm wrong, Chris.
I'll give you with Nico Williams for Wales the past few weeks. He's been good. He has been really good.
At the same age, Matty, Gareth Bale was ripping Mike on a new arsehole in the
No. Do I think Nico Williams is good enough to play any in that Liverpool team? Full stop, not a chance. And then people this week have been saying putting him at right wing to replace Mo Salah in the AFCON. I felt like Buddy throwing me head through a bus.
With Wales, they play 3 at the back, so he's playing right wing back. It suits him perfectly. You know who he's exactly like, Alonso. Absolutely dreadful at defending, but he's all right going forward. Like if he moved to Chelsea, he'd be just as good as Reece James.
Nico Williams for Liverpool this season, when he's come on, has been excellent. He hasn't put a foot wrong.
He's come on, Chris, for like 30 seconds.
Has he put a foot right?
Got 2 assists against Preston. Got 1 assist against Norwich. Excellently in the game against Atletico Madrid. I'm sorry, guys. I am fighting this battle. I'm fighting this hill. He's a youth player. We've got to back him, I'm afraid.
I agree with Dan. Exactly. They start Joe Allen.
They start Aaron Ramsey and Joe Morel. They're lying.
They used to start Joe Allen.
Wales, I'm sorry. I used to respect Wales. I used to like Wales. I'm going to go out on a limb now, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I will because it's off the tip of the tongue. I will never, ever, ever, ever forgive them for what they did in the aftermath of our defeat to Iceland in Euro 2016 in that dressing room when they turned around and they literally laughed at us. And from that moment, that is that. That is that. I used to support them. I used to like them. I said, well done, little Wales, you little tiny country. Well done. You're doing a great job, and I'm really, but as far as I'm concerned, when I saw that, I thought, right, okay, then that's that. That's it now. No, Northern Ireland for me.
Did the Wales players laugh at the England players? Wait there, did Wales laugh at England?
Yeah, they did in the changing room when we got beat to Iceland. That's it.
I appreciate them a bit more, to be honest.
Matty, we support the same club. That's something that you'll always unite us. But internationally, we do have very different opinions. But I still respect yours.
But if I did not know Wales, then that's to England. They are heroes.
But that's your opinion. But as far as I'm concerned, the 2 flags behind me are Liverpool and England, and that's that. And I support England just as much as I support Liverpool, and I can't change the way I feel.
I'm going to provide a little angle here. If Germany lost to Iceland, would you not laugh at them?
Yeah, I would.
Exactly.
But aren't England and Wales supposed to be connected and
everyone hates the English. Everyone
Charlie,
hates us.
You're English, yeah. And there's nothing you could do to change that unless you have a nationality change. So
one day Liverpool will become independent, and I'll have my own little red passport.
Anyway, moving swiftly onwards.
I'll take my dual citizenship, guys. All right, that's fine.
We'll finish it there. Thank you very much to Charlie, James, and Matty. It's been an excellent stream. It's been great fun. I've not laughed so much on a stream for so long. Make sure to check out the boys on Twitter. They're really, really good lads. Subscribe to the channel as well. Why wouldn't you? We are doing bits right now, so why wouldn't you? And make sure to have good vibes. Watch the videos. Read the website. Listen to the podcast. We'll